Yeah, don't forget to check out Doggie Diamonds No Filter, the actual audio version of this podcast that could be heard on Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify, as well as SoundCloud. All of that is right below in the description box, which you should already be subscribed to whatever your platform of choice is, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or SoundCloud. Just make sure you go. Also, for only $100, I promote whatever you need on my social media and my website. That's my Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, and my website, www.doggiediamondstv.com. Hit me up on Instagram at Doggie Diamonds for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Let's get to it. All right, as you come into the room, you should already hit the like button. You should hit the like button because you should just hit the like button. So I shouldn't have to tell you to hit the like button every time. Like, what sense does that make for you to hit the like button? You're already here. You know you like me. You know you like what we about to do. So hit the like button. It don't make no sense not to hit the like button. Just hit the like. That's what I need. Listen, today we dealing with some high science, right? Like some, not no crazy space shit, but you know, you can understand this right here because we dealing with good old fashioned common sense science, you know, that's lacking, you know. So I'm stopping the music. I'm stopping the music. I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. You know what I do. You know why you're here. Introduce yourself to the people.
How you doing, man? I go by the name of Amxxr, spelled Amxxr, aka Peace Beloved, the original Peace Beloved. I gotta set that straight.
So I'm supposed to put the X's?
Nah, bro. That's love, though. It's
Okay,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, I want people. There's people that don't know me. Amir, aka Amxxr. You know, it's always love, man. We go back, so
yeah. This ain't our first interview.
So don't even. Yeah, right. So you know, and currently, like I said, first of all, shout out to you for having me, brother. Mm-hmm. I know we have a lot of offline conversations that probably would have been some historical joints anyway.
Oh my God!
You know, we finally here, and I'm thankful. And it's ready to chop it up and build with another sword. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I go by the name of Man. Currently signed to True Soul Records with my bro Pete Rock, the first artist on True Soul Records. Prior to that, you know, not sharing this plug, we got album out, a project called 21 Grams out, Work Is Great in Soul right now. I got 7 Day Beloved Theory coming next, and then we got Dope Boy Soda album. All of that funneled through True Soul, powered by my brother Pete Rock and myself. So I'm here with No Filter, podcast, the legendary, matter of fact, I'm not going to say legendary. You are an architect of podcast and social media. And one of my verses, maybe 10 years ago, I said, Doggie Diamond, he a digital boss.
Facts.
Remember, it was in one of my freestyles. I mentioned that.
Yep. You was the first person to incarnate me into a verse. And when you said I was a digital boss, I got it. But then later on, it started making more sense because my digital real estate was what it was then, but then it since then has grown to where I'm at today.
Absolutely. So, and I salute you. I gotta give you flowers for that.
Thank you.
You are an architect in this shit, man, for real.
So for the fly on the wall, they've heard what we speak about, which is, I wish every conversation we had was documented. I swear, because I think it's so historic, some of the stuff we talk about. So I want to try to recollect, which I can do very well, but I want to try to recollect and speak to you and give the audience some of the things that we speak about because it's so profound. So in today's climate, a lot of people play smart. A lot of people could regurgitate. We had a conversation about that one day, about the regurgitation of NFT. So many things we heard regurgitated. But the reward comes from being a nigga. What is it about the black man that's so cool and so profound and so rewarding, and the need to be this nigga, in your opinion?
Great question. I love the hard questions. I think it's a It's a lot of moving parts of the question, but I'm gonna synthesize it to the best of my knowledge. And for any listener, you know, that may leave some comments under, this is not a iron fist answer saying this is not the only answer to the problem. It's a lot of moving pieces. But through my lens today, from what I know today, the knowledge base that I have today, and to answer that question precisely from what I know, there is a ton of overrepresentation of what a nigga is, what you know, and we talked about the semantics of the word niggas, N-E-G-U-S, N-I-G-G-A, N-I-G-G-E-R, and how we, you know, how it could be a term of endearment in the context of which it's spoken in. I mean, I use the word myself, to be honest. I mean, for full transparency, right? But there are in certain, I think, elements and rooms that it's inappropriate. Some people may deem it as totally inappropriate, period, because of the history of the word. But in today's 2023, and even if you ask somebody from the civil rights movement, they're going to say, yo, it's disgusting. So evolution has played a part in, I think, the acceptance and the non-acceptance of the word nigga or nigger for people who, because we do got some people who are GER and some people who are GAs, right? But they both kind of exist in this ecosystem of the Black community. For me, and I know the way that you're saying it, for the negative ones, for the people who bring dark, not just dark energy, and this is a metaphor, they bring dark light to us. The light that they bring, and it is a light, but it's not a light that's really to shine on us. It's a light on us, but it's not a light that I feel like enhances the fiber of who we are, right? Because they speak from such a place of it sounds like they speak from a place of not knowing, right? Because we did, by definition, it is a loud, ignorant person, right? Niggas, N-E-G-U-S, is people who, I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's from that region of Africa that stems from during the time frame, which were people were going to be said kings, royalty, and et cetera. So it's a lot of moving parts, but to simplify it and to just keep it a buck, man, like you do got niggas and niggers that actually, and I'm not judging or saying I'm the say you're this or I'm that, because I've had moments in both realms. I've done things that would probably be deemed ish or not, right? So I think to be a part of the solution, you had to once be a part of the problem. And I don't think the problem is the word. I think it's the behavior associated with it today more so than anything, in my opinion. But it's embarrassing, nonetheless. We can't own it. We get mad when people say it about us, but we say it to each other. And this is like a classic argument of stance on that word, right? But in today's Black, I'm gonna call it an ecosystem, or I don't want to say community. It's classist as ever, and there's a lot of arms and legs attached to it, and I've seen documentaries on the breakdown of this word, and some people will. I don't think it's going to stop as for conversation, but I think having healthy conversations about the connotation of it, the history of it. Some people may, like I said, find it offensive. Other people are like, nah, but I mean this. So I think that word meets you where you at.
Reason why I'm asking you that, right? Because I had, I got clowned online by, I guess, a real nigga. And whatever that is, oxymoronic statement. Yeah. But I got clowned by a real nigga that called me smart. And I guess I was supposed to be offended because the nigga said I was smart. And I guess I was supposed to prove that I'm not smart. I'm a real nigga. So it didn't make any sense to me. You know, so I feel like we got a lot of brothers and sisters who's probably intelligent and brilliant, but it's a knock on you to be intelligent and brilliant because that is not synonymous with being a real nigga.
Right. Like in the beginning, I said, it's the overrepresentation of one versus the other. Like, we had an offline conversation about a lyric someone said, special. And correct me because you quoted, because I don't want to mess up the bar. He said,
a powerful mind can build an empire with someone else's hand.
With someone, period. So, and this is, even when I worked in the barbershop, man, this conversation was one of the most classic conversations that I think took place. And it's interesting that I would get picked for this interview to do this, because I have this conversation. I've done more dirt than a lot of these guys. I talk whatever, you know. I think I choose certain vocabulary words because I like using words because I like to get to the point quicker. Mm-hmm. I don't want to make you comfortable, but if I use a word that makes sense, the brain is a muscle. So this is what they're saying indirectly. First of all, they're intimidated, they're insecure. If you're calling somebody else smart or brilliant or intelligent, I also usually try to make them feel like, look, man, if the brain is a muscle, you can become smarter, but you can't become more intelligent. What you talk about, I said, because in IQ, intelligence is what you're born with. You become smarter through repetition. So if somebody's calling you smart and they think they're dissing you, they actually, it's like shooting themselves. It's like Cheddar Bobbin with the mic at the time. Like you shoot yourself in the leg and you're picking on the dude on stage rapping, getting money. It doesn't make sense to me. So, you know, and I would just, you know what, in those situations, man, I would just pray for his evolution, man. I'm gonna be pray for that man's evolution, because he's not using. It doesn't seem like that person will have the faculties to have that level of a conversation with you, and he recognized it.
But see, for you, so for you take pride, and we take pride in when we speak. We're not using all these big extravagant words that we don't understand. You know what I'm saying? We not sitting there saying, "Yo, bro, it's indicative." We not, you know, we speaking like we would in the shop. We speaking
a lot of rappers do that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying to you,
university guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying to you was that the steel sharpens steel, and when we talk, because we go so worldly with it and just seeing stuff what it is. And how important is it for us black men to trade information that doesn't contain nigga shit? How important is that?
Whew. Bro, I gotta use a $45 word. This might be a $20 word. It's imperative that we use it. You understand what I'm saying? It is absolutely priceless that, you know, that we share resources in today's world, because it's nothing that they're telling me that you can't do the research yourself or at the tip of your fingers. See, we think the only lifting is not weight. Sometimes it's lifting of a thought process. And so to me, it's super important that we share information, we have dialogue and shit about whatever. Like, I don't think that you know, anything should be off the table for us as black men, because I think we're probably one of the most, and I respectfully say this, we're one of the, as a group, as a collective, myself included, bro, as a group, we have overdeveloped ideas of how, we have such an overdeveloped idea of who we are, but so many underdeveloped behaviors. And that's how I would sum it up. So if I see my brother or whoever, nephew, cousin, doing underdeveloped shit, I'm checking it. If you see me doing something that's underdeveloped, because I've been doing it so long, I'm numb to it. It's normality to me now. I don't even know that this behavior is out of pocket. So I'm going to continue to behave in this fashion. If I love someone, I'm going to check them. Now, if they or to, you know, whatever in their mind to believe that they beyond checking, they don't really know what real love and respect is. I will not speak to you. I will gamble with a friendship by telling you the truth. Before I stand next to you, know you live in a lie, my nigga, because I know that that is not, see how I use it? Right there. So know that you're living a lie itself. So for me, information is power, but the information that you have is not new. You got it from somewhere. If you're not the source of that information, it's free. I can research it myself. Most of the information we have in our community is not confidential data.
So right now, right now we would be considered to be the elders because of the age. Once you hit 40 in the Black community, you're like the elder, right? We would be considered to be the elders, but we have people older than us that's in their 50s. But I'm finding that. Go ahead. But I'm finding that as I try to edify people and come into elder statesmanship and show them, yo, the motherfuckers older than me is acting like them. So what's the disconnect of this elder shit that we're supposed to have, that I remember being in the hood and me and seeing Mr. Williams and seeing Mr. James and them. And remember, some of our elders got suited and booted every day. They wasn't going nowhere. He was going to the store. Where is that? What happened to our elders?
In that article I gave you, I'm gonna use that as a core, like a foundation, bro. Anybody, I'm gonna say from 30 up. In my mind, I'm gonna say 30 plus. I used to think age was the catalyst for wisdom or you being an elder. Because I said it somewhere before. I know 15-year-old men and I know 50-year-old boys. And the problem is this: people have been they feel like, yo, if I'm looked at, if he or she is looked at as older, they are of no value, or you don't know what you're talking about, right? And this comes from the break in the foundation of our homes, and you know how we grew up. Most of us, like, and it was the statistic in the document said, what's his name? I can't think of his last name at the moment. His name was Hassan. T. Johnson is his name. And he was saying in his research, it was saying 64% of the homes in the Black community are without fathers. Single mothers are raising these men, and only 4% of our homes have single men raising the kids, and 30 or 20-something percent were of, I guess a man was present in the house. I'm going to say the break was crack. I'm going to say the break was alcoholism. I'm going to say the break was when the social classes in the Black community started to get divided we started subscribing to the illusion of inclusion at a table that we could sit at, but we was powerless at these tables, right? And we go back to our respective communities and turn up our nose at the people who may not have, don't look like us, don't talk like, don't smell, can't eat like us, can't live like me. You broke ass, you know what follows, or you ain't got nothing, I got this, you ain't got that. We started to think things are the blessing. We started putting things before our personal evolution, the evolution of one's community. And it was said that if you should always, one philosophy was to have a life well lived, bro, is to leave where you lived at better when you go than when you came. And I don't think any of us, and I'm not always include myself, most of us don't really, come from that school of thought. And it's tough because now it's going to be even tougher because we're going into a world of you're coming out of, let's say, cold crack era, right? Crack babies are now 20s and their 30s, bro. And look at the representation in the art, right? Nobody's asking why. But if you really look at the history of how we came, violence has always been a pillar in our world, and across any black community that was blue collar and under. We talked about it, and once again, it was also said in the article I read, it was talking about how, there's only most of the institutions that we have to go get something from are controlled by others, not us. And it's only 2 institutions that they said that we have some form of control or a seat at the table, which is the church and in our own family, right? And in the church, the leader of the church is usually a male, right? The so-called leader is male, but the congregation, right, or the constituents of churches are mostly women. The same thing, but like in most churches, most black men are not present. And I'm not saying the church is the answer, I'm just giving an analogy. Most black men are not present in this institution, right? So we have more women than you have men, right? Once again, you go back to the home, the family itself. Most families have more men than women, so black men are just as absent at home as they are in the church itself, or any religious or most religious institutions that we subscribe to, Islam, etc., right? Most of us are just as absent from the home as we are from other places of worship, which we seem to have a seat of power. And I think in our drunkenness for power, control, money, voice, we lost ourselves, man. And we lost ourselves in a real bad way. And in the process of losing ourselves, we found things, and we've started to believe that these things gave us value, not our actions and us standing on our word. And that's why the generational gap, the divide became greater, because why would I respect you? You got all of this, but you ain't teaching me how to get it. You shitting on me, right? So if you shitting on me, why you ain't showing me how to get it so I can build with you? No, because it goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, bro, that the mindset, like, there's no part-time solution for a lifetime disease.
Oh, whoa! Stop! Listen to me.
My bad.
No, listen. This.
My bad.
No, that was. Listen, holy shit, that was so crazy. I'm ending this interview right there because I don't want to say nothing else. I don't even want nothing to come after that. I want that to end right there. There is no part-time solution. Say that again, man.
There's no part-time solution for the lifetime disease of wanting to be a real nigga. Nah, we have to fix it.
That's it. I don't need. That's it. That's it. That's it. I don't even know what else to say. That's it.